Hello and welcome to another fly tying session with your host Scott. In this session we're going to be tying a daddy longlegs or crane fly, a traditional dry fly, or in the style of a traditional dry fly. We're going to need a few materials. So to get the fly the right size, we're using a long shank hook, a Camazam B813 size 12. For the body and the main tying thread, we're going to be using a uni thread in tan, which is about the right colour in my opinion. My good friend Ken has tied up some knotted pheasant tail fibres for the legs. For the thorax, we're going to be using a bit of rabbit, dubbed rabbit. For the wings and the main hackle, we're going to be using an Indian cock cape in badger. And for the rib, we're going to be using some peacock quill that I've prepared using a pencil eraser. You just go against the grain and it comes off, and that's all ready to go. So we're going to start. Now it's the time of year for this fly. My good friend Ken has already caught a fish on this pattern, and they're floating around everywhere. And if you do find a fishery where they're feeding on these, there's quite a few different patterns that'll work on the day, but I have previously showcased a foam bodied version, and they'll float all day and they're brilliant. But I wanted to tie one that looked a little bit more realistic. So we're going to tie in our ribbing material, which is the peacock quill at this point. Then we're going to start building up a body. I've got a fairly straight body, so you don't need to worry about tapering it too much. A couple more passes and I think we might be there with the body. Now if you've got the time, you can actually like add resin to this and varnish it, let it dry, and then add the hackle later if you wanted to. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to tie the pattern up for you. Now we're going to stop about probably there for the body. And then we're going to wind our quill for the rib. And then tie that in. And then trim it away. Now you could do this on a much larger hook if you prefer. Size 10 would be a good start actually. But a lot of the daddy long legs I've seen floating around lately have been very, very small. So this is quite a small one. So we're going to add a little lump of dubbing for the thorax. giving plenty of room to tie in our wings and our legs. So we're going to grab 6 legs. Now you can buy these pre-done, but Ken's been kind enough to tie me some up, so we're going to use the ones he's made me. And the reason I like Ken's better is they've only got a single knot in them. The ones that you normally buy ready done have got more than one knot in, which from what I've seen of the real thing isn't very realistic. So I line the knots up so that they're all, and so that the legs are pointing down the way, and then I'll normally line the knot up with the bend of the hook to get the correct length of leg. You tie one group of 3 on the one side, and you get another group of 3 for the other side. I'm going to have to stop putting the parrot in the credits, I think. He doesn't know how to be quiet when he's on his own, so my apologies. There we are, that's the legs in. Now it's time for the wings. But first I'm just going to trim these, the length of the head, and then proper anchor them down, because they like to come out if they're not in properly. So to do the wings, you're going to get some of the fairly small feathers that are towards the top of the cape, or the head end of the cape. You need to try and find a pair if you can that look about the same size. And then you're going to lay them into a V shape, and I actually lay them upside down. They're a bit long at the moment, so it's just adjust them. That's about right, I think. Yeah, there we go. And once they're in position, just pin them down, nice winging loop, and then just drop them in. And then just anchor them down as well. Again, trim the length of the head. So you've got plenty of material underneath the thread so they don't come out. Then it's time for the hackle. Now you need because it's quite a heavy hook, you're going to need a substantial hackle. Something like that probably will be fine. Just get rid of the fluff. And drop that in there. Trim away. And then get your hackle pliers. Either pair will do. I'll just grab the first ones that I can see. These are my midge ones. And then start winding your hackle with close turns. many turns with the feather on as possible. And then tie it in. Okay, some of them have gone forward, that's fine. Cut out the stalk and just gently push these back. And stop forming your head. And then come in and whip finish. And then varnish to finish. And there we are. That is the daddy long legs, or the crane fly. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.